Understanding the stages of competence, and as people move through the process, will help you to understand where a learner is at and where you are as an educator and how to reach each other. What happens, a learner starts off unconsciously incompetent. They don't know what they don't know. And this learner is most dangerous because they'll just try whatever it is and they won't realize they don't know it. What happens is simulation is a great way to help them realize that they have a gap. As learners, and as adults is true, we learn when we know we don't know something, when we're consciously incompetent. What happens when we do a simulation or have any type of experience, it either puts together what we do know or identifies what we don't know. Once we've identified what we don't know, we've become consciously incompetent. One problem with that is it actually can impact everything we do. There's some interesting research that says as we introduce a new electronic medical record, which people realize soon they are consciously incompetent in, that the IV rates go down, the success rates go down. It's not because the IV skills are worse, it's just because people are thinking about too much. And their confidence goes down because they think there's a competence issue. Unconscious incompetence, learners feel fine. When they move to conscious incompetence, they're now insecure. Some educators focus on learners that feel like they know everything. Well, sometimes it's a false bravado. Sometimes it is them covering up their conscious incompetence. Sometimes it's unconscious incompetence. They don't know. Luckily, simulation will help you identify which one it is. Once we've identified and gotten the learner to a stage of conscious incompetence, they're ready for learning. You know, Malcolm Knowles says it this way: adults like to learn what they want to learn when they want to learn it. Well, they want to learn when they're consciously incompetent. Sometimes what happens is people just pick it up and don't realize they got it. It's unconscious competence. That tends to be rare, but sometimes actually may stunt their growth because they haven't gone through that difficult step. When somebody's an expert, they get to this top stage of unconscious conscious competence, where they don't know what they know. They just know it. They'll go into a room and go, wow, that patient's dying. While the person who is unconsciously incompetent doesn't even realize they're missing something. What happens then is we get into this discussion where the person who is unconsciously conscious competent don't know how they do it. They can't explain to this new learner, look, the patient's dying. Well, why? I don't know, because they are. Somebody who's consciously competent, which is that next level down, not necessarily a complete expert yet, hasn't gotten to that tacit or intuition gut feel section, could explain what's going on. That's why we often have disconnects between somebody who's a deep expert and somebody who's a novice, and they can't speak the same language. They may actually learn better with somebody from a year or two experience than somebody who has 20. We need to make sure we're matching learners and moving the process as we go along. In simulation, we also want to think about the stages and how much can we throw at them. Somebody that is unconsciously incompetent, they don't know what they don't know, has to have a very simple simulation. They need to have something that is very obvious without a whole bunch of noise. You know, in EMS, we often like to flip cars over, light them on fire, those type of things. Well, that's great for somebody that's at the expert level, somebody that is consciously competent or higher. But at the lower level, that's just all noise, and they won't know what to pick out. We need to make sure we're helping learners move through the process. The other thing we need to make sure is a safe learning environment. Because when somebody moves from unconscious incompetence to conscious incompetence, it has to be a psychologically safe environment for them to express that and learn, and not just hide it. What we need to do is set an environment where it's okay for learners to say, I don't know. Because that's somebody who's safe. Somebody who can, in practice, say, I don't know this, and go find an expert is okay. Somebody who's just going to hide it or not know to call for help is difficult or unsafe.